Are you getting a little tired of conversion factors? I understand, but believe me, you'll thank us later. Actually, only one part of today's program will deal with conversion factors. In Part 2, we'll get to know your calculators and see what they can do to help us work physics problems. Lots of units we use in physics are expressed as fractions, like meters per second. How do we handle them? Watch.
Speed can be expressed in a number of ways: meters per second, kilometers per hour, or miles per hour.
The speed of this race car is 310 kilometers per hour, but you must change it to miles per hour. How would you start?
Okay, Allison, in this problem we want to convert 310 kilometers per hour to miles per hour. So how will you start?
Okay, just like every conversion, you put a question mark, miles per hour.
Okay, now let me stop you right there.
Okay.
You've made a mistake that's common to every student who's starting this. Okay. And you're actually copying the problem as it was written, which is fine for textbooks and other published material because they want everything on one line. It's just easier to read, print, and everything. But in a physics problem, that's just going to make everything very, very difficult for us because we need top and bottom to know what to cancel out. And if we have everything on one line, we have no idea what we're doing. So this is the way I want you to write the problem. I want you to write it as how many miles over hours. Okay? Equals 310 kilometers over hours. Now, exactly what does that 310 kilometers per hour mean?
I don't really know.
Okay. Let me give you a hint. When you're moving at 55 miles per hour, which is the speed limit in many roads, what does that tell you?
That you're going 55 miles in 1 hour.
That's right, and that's exactly what we have here. 310 kilometers per 1 hour. Now, you can write the 1 if you want to. If you don't write it, it's still understood. Okay? Now, let's look at our units. We have hours on the bottom, and so we'll leave that alone. That's exactly what we want. So we want to convert from kilometers to miles. So let's do one conversion factor. What do we want on the bottom?
Kilometers, so they'll cancel out.
That's exactly right. And miles on the top. Do you know a fact about miles and kilometers?
Not off the top of my head.
And you're not expected to. Let me give you that fact, and that fact will always be given to you. The fact is that 1 kilometer is 0.62 miles. Now, that could come in real handy if you're running a 10K race to know that, but you don't have to know that. That will be given to you. So now all we have to do is plug in the numbers. The 1 goes where?
The 1 goes...
With the kilometer.
With the kilometers.
Right. And the 0.62 with the...
miles.
That's exactly right. And when you plug the numbers in and calculate on your calculator, you would get what?
192.2.
192.2. We're going to round that off to 2 digits, and don't worry about that. I'll show you why later. So we're going to make it 190, and our units, kilometers cancel out, our units are miles per hour, exactly the way we want. And so that's our answer. Good.
Okay. That wasn't bad at all, was it? Let's try this one. Convert 570 grams per liter to grams per milliliter. Now don't forget to use the horizontal line instead of the slash. Set up the problem, and then we'll solve it together.
Here's how you should have set up the problem. We say how many grams over milliliters equals 570 grams over liters. Look at your units. Grams is on top here and here, so we don't have to worry about grams. On the bottom, we have milliliters and liters. We need to convert liters into milliliters. So the first thing you do is take liters and put it on top. You take milliliters and put it on bottom. Then you plug in the numbers. The fact is that 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. Check your units. Liters cancels out. You're left with grams per milliliter. This tells us to take 570 divided by 1,000. And the answer is 0.57 grams per milliliter.
Now look at the mess we'd have if we used the slash and kept everything on one line. It looks like the milliliters and liters are both on top, and that is totally misleading. So don't use slashes, okay? Oh, sure, you say okay now, but I've seen too many students confuse themselves needlessly. I don't want any of you to be confused, so we need to take stronger measures. I want you all to take the Physics Pledge of Allegiance. So, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I state your name.
Do pledge and promise.
Do pledge and promise.
Never to use slashes in conversion problems.
Never to use slashes in conversion problems.
I will always use a horizontal line to represent the per in conversions involving 2 or more units.
I will always use a horizontal line to represent the per in conversions of 2 or more units.
This is my solemn promise.
This is my solemn promise.
There. I feel better knowing that none of you will use those messy slashes. So remembering your pledge and promise, try this one. Copy the problem, and then your local teacher will turn off the tape until everyone has finished.
We'll start this problem just like we started all of them, with a question mark. This time it's how many meters over seconds equals 16 meters over minutes. The first thing to do is to look at your units and see where you are. We have meters on the top, both sides, so we're fine there. All we have to do is to convert minutes to seconds. So we'll set up a conversion factor, put minutes on the top so that it will cancel out, and seconds on the bottom. Now you know the fact that 1 minute is 60 seconds. Minutes cancel out. Our answer would be in meters per second. Now all you have to do is the math. 16 divided by 60 is 0.27 meters per second.
Think you know how to do every kind of conversion? Not so fast. Here's another little twist. Watch.
Okay, Lee, let's start the problem, but remember your solemn pledge.
Okay.
So what do we write?
Okay, the problem is how many meters over second.
Okay. So we write that how?
You write meters and then a horizontal slash and then seconds.
All right. Equals?
Equals 65 kilometers over 1 hour.
That's right. Okay. Remember the one is optional. It's understood. Okay. Now look at your units top and bottom. Are either of them okay?
No, it looks like we'd have trouble trying to convert top and bottom.
Well, it looks like that, but really it's very simple if you'll just do one at a time. So let's just start with the top and don't worry about the bottom. Let's start with the top. We want a conversion factor. And we want to get rid of kilometers and change it to meters. So what unit do we put on the bottom?
Kilometers.
Okay. That makes them cancel out, and
Meters on top.
meters on top. Now give me the fact about kilometer and meter.
1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer.
All right, good. Now our kilometers are gone, so we have meters on the top. We're halfway there. Now we need one more conversion. This time we want to get rid of hours, so where do we put it?
Hours goes on top.
Okay. And seconds on the bottom. Do you know a fact about hours and seconds?
Yes, 1 hour equals 60 seconds.
Hold it! I just knew this would happen. Actually, we set it up for this poor student to make the mistake because some of you, who will remain anonymous, have surely made the same mistake. Think about this so-called fact. Is 1 hour really 60 seconds long? That would be a mighty short hour, wouldn't it? Let's go back and give our student a chance to get this right.
Do you know a fact about hours and seconds?
No, but I do know how to convert hours to minutes.
All right, let's do that. I'm going to put hours on the top so it'll cancel out, and minutes on the bottom. What's your fact?
1 hour equals 60 minutes.
That's right. Now our hours are gone. And we have minutes. We want to get rid of our minutes. So where will we put them?
Put the minutes on the top.
Okay. And do you know a fact about minutes and seconds?
1 minute equals 60 seconds.
Okay. For some reason, I thought you'd make the mistake of saying that 1 hour was 60 seconds, but you didn't do that.
I would never make that mistake.
All right, so now all we have to do is punch the buttons on the calculator. You want to punch 65 times 1,000 divided by 60, and what will you do next? Multiply or divide by 60?
Oh no, I'm not going to do it wrong again. Don't want you making me look bad here.
So what do we punch?
You punch 65 times 1,000 divided by 60, then divided by 60 again.
Okay, and you get the answer, 18 meters per second. So remember, when you have two numbers to divide by on the bottom, don't multiply, say divide by, divide by.
Okay.
I do enjoy catching students in mistakes occasionally, just like you love to point out their mistakes to your teachers. Hopefully, you won't see my mistakes because I don't make them. Well, actually, they're all on the editing room floor. Now it's time for you to practice all the different conversions you've learned so far.
Local teachers, please turn off the tape and give students this problem set number 2 from the Facilitator's Guide.